Kyle, you're on with Tim Kurkjian. Go ahead, Kyle.
Hey, Tom. Is Freddie Freeman going to end up breaking all of Chipper Jones' records? And at what point do you abandon the twist tie on a loaf of bread?
Wow. The twist tie stays on till the end with me, but I often lose it early on in the process, so then I just tie it up or just fold it under. I'm not that concerned about that. Freddie Freeman is a great hitter. I don't think he'll be as good as a first baseman as Chipper Jones was as a third baseman historically. I don't think he'll be as good as Chipper Jones, but he'll be darn close, and he will be a tremendous player by the time his career ends, and he's already there.
Does Stephen A. Smith look like a guy who hums Lean on Me while taking the elevator? Does Les Miles look like he orders agua instead of water at a Mexican restaurant, then looks around the table with a really self-satisfied grin? Will, you're on with Tim Kurkjian. Go ahead, Will.
Hey, Tommy. Something's really bothered me when watching baseball. Why do pitchers always point their fingers up in the air when the batter hits a fly ball when everyone in the stadium knows it's a fly ball?
That's a good point.
Yeah, I'm definitely with you on that. And I'm always amused when they point up in the air when it goes 40 rows into the stands. Like, oh, that should have been a catchable fly ball, but he hit it 460 feet.
So there's no explanation? Is it just
I thought it was for the teammates.
No,
I mean,
reflective. It's like, yeah, ball's in the air. Like everyone in the park already knew that because every ball is in the air today.
Does Tom Coughlin look like he's only at the party because his wife dragged him along? Does Mike Scioscia look like your coworker who gets caught eating the birthday cake with his hands 20 minutes before the party starts? Mark, you're on with Tim Kurkjian. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, Telly, chocolate-covered bacon or chocolate-covered Oreos, and is Jeff McNeil MVP candidate? Who loves you, baby?
I would never be friends with that person.
I love that person.
That person would be my enemy for life just based on that. Go ahead, Tim.
All right, Jeff McNeil is having a great year. He might even be a top 10 MVP candidate, but he's not going to win. I will have chocolate-covered Oreos before chocolate-covered bacon any day. Chocolate on chocolate seems to be work better than chocolate on pork products.
Jackson, always reasonable, Tim Kurkjian. Jackson, he's wrong, but always reasonable. Jackson, you're on ESPN Radio with Tim Kurkjian.
Hey, Tim, will the Phillies figure it out, and is Gabe Kapler the weirdest manager in the MLB?
He's an unusual character. I'll give him that. He gave us his eating regimen the other day, which was just amazing. He eats like 4 giant hamburgers, 2 for lunch, 2 for dinner, and they're like bison burgers. He puts like a quarter of a stick of butter on each one of them, and he puts a fried egg on each one, and his thinking is, I'm eating, I need to burn fat, not anything else, and it's more satisfying to eat that way. So he's an unusual eater. I'll give him that. He's in unbelievable physical shape, the best shape I've ever seen for a manager. I think he could beat up any manager who's ever lived except for Doug Rader. And he's an unusual guy, but I enjoy being around him because he's thought some things through.
Wait a minute. I need to discuss this with Tim Kurkjian. Yes, because Doug Rader, for those of you who don't know, I'm going to try and explain who Doug Rader is to you and why it is Tim Kurkjian is saying that Gabe Kapler would beat up any manager in history except for Doug Rader. I want you to go ahead and look up, first of all of you go ahead and image search him because he's bloated and thick and it's hard to explain, but he doesn't look very much like Gabe Kapler. You're taking the guy who is just an old baseball guy, Tim, and saying he's going to wipe the floor with a physical menace like Gabe Kapler. It doesn't make sense.
Every photo of him, he's got chew in his mouth.
Yeah. And I think what Tim is saying is even at 75 years of age, Doug Rader would still take him.
No, I'm saying in his prime.
Ooh.
Both of them in their physical prime, Doug Rader could beat up Gabe Kapler, but he's the only manager who I think could beat up Gabe Kapler.
But every manager looks like Buck Showalter, so
that's right. It's not saying much.
Why is he choking up on the bat so much?
Doug Rader in spring training one year did the entire bicep bar on the Nautilus machine, and then he had me stand on top of the entire stack of weights on the bicep machine, and then he lifted me and the bicep machine up without too much trouble.
Oh, that's so great.
So he added 12 pounds to the bicep machine when he put you on top of it.
Yeah. I weighed about 130 at the time, so it wasn't much.
Does Vic bleeping Fangio look like he swallows his pills without water? Does Pete Carroll look like the guy cruising down the highway in a convertible with his arm extended behind a passenger seat that has no passenger? Does Adam Silver look like the lone French fry that gets mixed up in your order of onion rings?
Cha-ching! Cha-ching! Time for some ads!
That's one of the best Carroll ones. Might be the best one.
I like this one here. I didn't even read to him. Sam Darnold. Does he look like it's no big deal, officer? My dad's the mayor, and it's just a little bit of weed. I think that one might be better than Lego Fireman on Sam Darnold.
No, there's nothing better than Lego
Fireman. Put it on the poll at LeBatard Show. Sam Darnold, what does he look like more? Lego Fireman? Or hold on a second. Let me get it out of the garbage.
All right. It's Lego Fireman. I mean, whatever you pull out of the garbage.
You pulled it out of the garbage.
Yeah.
Sam Darnold looks like it's no big deal, officer. My dad's the mayor, and it's just a little bit of weed.
It's good. It's no Lego Fireman.